I have stated on occasion that I may consider reviewing the Marvel movies, but I thought I'd start with something else: Star Trek. I would not call myself a die-hard Star Trek fan. I haven't seen many episodes as of this video, but I have familiarized myself with elements and plot points of the franchise out of sheer curiosity. I've seen The Voyage Home when I was younger, but I didn't get into the series then. And even Star Trek 2009, when I saw that 5.5 years ago, that didn't even get me into the franchise either. But that was years later. But anyway, I will get into what I think of those two movies in the future, if the Lord wills. I have watched all 10 Star Trek movies from the original continuity, and I've only recently watched the 2009 reboot again after those said years that I mentioned earlier. Wrath of Khan was really the one that got me invested in the franchise itself and in this cinematic universe that Paramount had built. Marvel was not the first one to attempt a cinematic universe franchise, guys. I thought it was fine. But anyway, back to Wrath of Khan. I thought it was fine, but a bit slow-paced. I didn't think much of it at first. And I put an emphasis on at first. And I thought it was overrated, but I couldn't deny that the film had some impact on me. My opinion now? I think it's the best Star Trek movie, and that's no exaggeration. I saw the movie a second time after I watched Confused Matthew and SF Debris gave their thoughts on the movie. I've also seen Sam Gavin's review of this movie, and I recommend checking out all three of these. For all the Trek fans out there, I recommend checking out these guys and their reviews of the Wrath of Khan movie, because it's very interesting. I'm not saying that any of these three necessarily swayed me into liking Wrath of Khan, because I've never met the guys nor spoken to them. Their thoughts on the movie were interesting. Regardless, I cannot deny Wrath of Khan for sure had an impact on me, and it is definitely one of the best movies I've seen. Not my favourite, but the best, and it does rank very highly on the scale, and in many areas surpasses The Dark Knight and Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I hope to explain when I review Wrath of Khan. Watching a review and watching the movie are two different experiences, and I confess that I saw the reviews first before watching the movies. But my opinions of these movies may differ slightly from some individuals, and in some cases be the same. Star Trek Insurrection is one example of this, since I liked it, but understood the problems that people have with it, and I myself recognise that Insurrection's premise is a double-edged sword. What Matthew says about Insurrection briefly in the introduction of his TNG reviews, that other reviewers saw the same flaws he did, is 100% on the ball. This may be strange here, but I'm going to start with the TNG movies first, then review the originals, and hopefully I can articulate what I think works in these movies, what doesn't, etc. Stay tuned for the reviews of the TNG movies, beginning with Generations and ending with Nemesis. Thank you for taking the time to watch.